Hello students, welcome to PhysicaTube. From this video I am going to start basics of MATLAB. So this is the very first lecture, and if you don't have MATLAB installed in your PC, since it is a paid software, and if you don't have access to MATLAB, then you have another option, that is Octave software. So in the Octave software, the commands you run in MATLAB, similar commands you can work out in Octave also. It is very similar to MATLAB and it is available free of cost. So you can download Octave software for your Windows or Linux, the operating system you are using. So corresponding Octave version you can download from their website, and then install it, and you can learn MATLAB, all the MATLAB commands using Octave. So here also I am using Octave for the MATLAB lectures because it is very similar to MATLAB. Let us start. So first of all, what is MATLAB? MATLAB is a word consists of two words. One is mat, second is lab. Mat means matrix, lab means laboratory. MATLAB is a matrix laboratory, and since all the commands, all the inputs you are giving in MATLAB, it will take it as a matrix. Like if you are giving a single input like x equal to 2, then it will take it as a 1 cross 1 matrix. So similarly, all the inputs that you are giving in the command window in MATLAB, it will take it as a matrix or array. First of all, what is MATLAB window? MATLAB window consists of four windows. One is called command window, which is very important part of MATLAB window. So in the command window you have these two arrows. These are called command prompt, and this blinking vertical line. So here you can give your commands, all the programs you want to run, anything you want to enter in MATLAB, you can give at this command window part. Next part is command history. So in the command history, what you will have, all the commands that you are giving in the command window will be saved in the command history tab. So here you can see all the previous commands that I have given in this command window. They are all saved in the command history tab. And next part of MATLAB window is workspace. So in the workspace you have the variables, all the variables which you enter in the command window, x, y, z, a, b, c, matrix, anything that you will enter in the command window, all the variables will be saved in the workspace and all the commands will be saved in the command history. Next part is editor window. Editor window is a window where you can write a program. Suppose you want to write a program of 6-7 lines, then whole program you will write here and then save from the file option. You can save file and you can run this file by writing its name on the command window. So that is a different part I will discuss later on. And now the last thing is the figure window. So whenever you draw a figure, it will be saved in a figure window. Like, so if I am giving some x values, some y values, and then I plot x versus y, you can see that a new window opens. This window is called figure window. So in the figure window you have x versus y plot. Similarly, you can have 3D plots also in the figure window. So from this file option you can save the file, or by control S you can save the figure you have plotted. So this is one thing. These all are the parts of MATLAB window. So now let us start with the next thing, that is how to give input and get output in MATLAB. So at the command window we will give input, and you will see that all the variables that I am giving in the command window will automatically appear in the workspace tab, and all the commands will appear in the command history tab. Like you can see, I have given two variables x and y. These variables are saved in workspace here and at this point, and I have given two commands, that is plot x y and other is x equal to this, y equal to this. These three commands are saved in the command history tab. Similarly, as I proceed further, you will see that all the variables I will use, they will be saved in the workspace and all the commands will be saved in the command history tab. So I will keep all the three windows open so that you can get the idea how the variables and commands are saved in various windows. Next, I will discuss inputs and outputs in MATLAB. So the data type in a MATLAB is array. An array is, you can say, it is a vector or matrix. If it is a vector, it has one row or one column, and if it is a matrix, it has dimensions more than one, means it has two rows, two column, three row, three column, or it can have different dimensions. First of all, how to enter a vector in MATLAB. So if I'm writing x as a vector, so you have to write it within a square bracket. Suppose I'm giving values 1 2 3, then square bracket close, and you will get x1 x as a vector. This is a row vector. And suppose I'm giving another vector y, giving some values, and I want to write y as a column vector. Then you have to write 3, then semicolon, 4, then semicolon, then 5. Any value you can take. So now you will get a column vector. So similarly, you can see in the workspace also that now my y is a 3 cross 1 matrix, means 3 rows and 1 column. It is a vector, and x is a 1 cross 3 matrix, means 1 row and 3 column. So now further, if I give more values to the same variables x and y, so MATLAB will overwrite the values of x and y. Like previously you have seen that x and y have these values. X has 1 to 10 value, y 1 to 10, and when I have written x equal to 1, x as a row vector and y as a column vector, the previous values got deleted and the new values are stored in the same variables. Next is how to enter a matrix. Suppose A is a matrix and I am giving some values to matrix A. So A is equal to 1 2. If I want to write 2 cross 2 matrix, so 1 2 means 1 row हो गई, then 3 and 4. So now you will get a 2 cross 2 matrix. So whenever you put a semicolon, you will enter in next row. Similarly, if you want to write a matrix B, so B is equal to 1. Suppose B is a 3 cross 3 matrix. So next row 5 6 7, any values you can take. So now you will get B matrix that has 3 rows and 3 columns. So this is the way to enter a matrix or a vector in MATLAB. Side by side you can see that all the variables, I have given 4 variables till now, x, y, a and b. They are in the workspace, and you can see the dimensions and class of the variables also. And on the left side, in the command history tab, you can see all the commands that I have given. So here the commands are saved. Next thing is that MATLAB is case sensitive. Case sensitive means it treats uppercase and lowercase letters as different. Previously I have written capital A. So if I am giving small a the same value like 1 2 semicolon 3 4, so it is again 2 cross 2 matrix similar to matrix A, but since it is case sensitive, so it will treat capital A and small a as different variables. As you can see in the workspace, I have a variable, both are similar, but because of case sensitive nature of MATLAB, it will store a, small a and capital A as different variables. Otherwise, if the variables are same, the variables are overwritten in MATLAB. So that is why it is case sensitive. So but most of the commands, most of the programs that we write in MATLAB, we always use lowercase letters. And the dimensions you can see in the workspace, the dimensions of different variables are given, but you can also check the dimension or size of variables by the command size. So size, if I write size A, it will show you the size of matrix A, means it has 2 rows 2 columns. If I write size x, then it will show x has 1 row 3 columns. So with this size command, you can check the size of the matrix. And there is one more command, that is length, which works for the vectors only. This command will give you the length of a vector. Since we have x and y as a vector, so if I give length x command, you will get answer 3, means it has 3 columns. If I write length y, again you will have the answer 3, means it has 3 rows, and previously x has 3 columns. So the maximum value whether it is a row or it is a column in a vector. So length command will give that value. Suppose next I am giving some another vector z which is equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6. It is a row vector. So if I want to check the length of vector z, then length z command will give the maximum value whether it is a row or it is a column. Again I am writing z as a column vector. Now length command again will give answer 6, the length of largest dimension. It could be row or it could be column. Next thing is output display. So suppose I am writing pi. Pi is a variable which is saved in MATLAB database. So as I write pi, I will get the values 3.1416 only up to 4 digits. So if I want to get value of pi in 16 or 17 digits, then I will use the command format. So with the format command, if I write format long and then I again write pi, you can see I will get the value of pi up to 15 digits after the decimal. And again if I want to get the value of pi in short format, then I will write format short and again write pi. You will get value of pi up to 4 digits after the decimal. Next thing is, if you want to get the value of pi in 10 raised to powers, then write format short e and again write pi. Now you will get value 3.1416 into e plus 00 means 10 raised to power 0. If I write 1000 into pi, then you will get value 3.1416 e plus 03 means 3.1416 into 10 raised to power 3. Similarly, in the long format, you can also get value of pi in 10 powers. So again, if I write format long e, you will get value of pi up to 15 digits after decimal into e power 0. If I write 10 power 5 into pi, then you can see the value is long format value of pi e plus 05, 10 raised to power 05. So in this way we can choose the format of the output as we require. Next thing is the expression of output. If I want to express the output, means I don't want to get the output in the next line itself, like I am writing a is equal to, a is a vector, and if I write enter, you will get value of a. Since I have already chosen format short long e, that is why it is showing values of a as 1 into 10 raised to power 0, 2 into 10 raised to power 0. So let me choose first of all the format in short form. Now again enter value of a. See, you will get value of a in the next line. Now next what we will do, we will write a semicolon at the end of the vector a. Now if I enter, you can see that you will not get value of a in the next line as in the previous case. Here there is no semicolon and you are getting a in the very next line, but if I put a semicolon, what this semicolon will do, this semicolon will express the output. Although the output is there in the MATLAB workspace, you can see here it is there in the workspace, but it will not be shown in the command window in the very next line. So in this way you can express the output. If you are writing a program of 10-15 lines, then after every line you have to put a semicolon. That is why you will not get answer of every line when you run the program. You will get answer of only the required thing. So if I write another value, suppose b equal to a matrix 1 2 3 4, this is a matrix b and I put a semicolon, you will see value of b is not shown in the next line, but it is stored in the workspace. This is the value of matrix b. But if I want to get value of b here, then write simply type b. See, you will get value of matrix b. So this semicolon will express the output. So next let me discuss some general commands of MATLAB. That is, first command is who. This who command will give the information of the variables which are present in the workspace currently. So in the workspace you can see I have variables x, y, b, answer a, b, a. So all the variables you can find with the command who, and if you write the command who s, then it will give the variables as well as the size of the variables which are present in the workspace. So these are two commands for variables, and another command is what. What command will give the information about the m files present in the directory. So here you can see I have one m file data1.m in my directory. So what command will give the information of figure files, m files, or any files that you have saved in your directory or in the folder you are working in. Next command is clear. Clear command clears the variables of the workspace, and if you want to clear a particular variable, suppose I want to clear the variable x and y, so I will write clear x y. It will clear the variables x and y in the workspace. You can see that x and y are not there in the workspace now. You can check by writing who command also. So if I write who, you can see that previously when I have given the command who, you had these variables a, b, a, answer b, x, y, and z, and here since I have cleared the variables x and y only, so you are having variables a, b, a, answer b, and z only. So x and y are deleted. So if you want to clear all the variables, then simply write clear command, and you can see your workspace is cleared now. Again write who, there is nothing in the workspace. You can see that there is no answer, means workspace is empty now. Next command is CLC. CLC means if you want to clear the command window. It is like you want to rub all the things you have written in the command window. CLC command will clear the command window, but it cannot clear the workspace. If I give CLC command, only all the commands written in the command window will be cleared, but it will not affect the workspace. Next command is CLF. CLF command clears the figure window. You can see that I have previously plotted this x versus y plot, this figure. So if I give the CLF command in the command window and enter, you will see that this figure 1 is cleared now. There is no plot in figure 1. So CLF means clear the figure window. So it will delete everything that is present in the figure. Then next command is clear all. Clear all command will clear the variables in the workspace as well as all the functions you have generated and the functions that are present in the workspace. Right now there is nothing in the workspace, so you cannot see its effect, but later on I will show you how this clear all command works. After this I will give you some directory information, how to create a directory, what is a directory, and how to save your files in a particular directory. So first thing is how to make a directory. So that is mkdir. Directory is basically a folder. So if you are working in a PC and many people are working on the same PC, you can make your own directory or your own folder in the MATLAB. So for that you have to use command make directory. Suppose I am making a directory of my name. So I have written mkdir Ritu. So now you can see that directory is generated, and now I want to go into my directory. So I will write cd and directory name, and you can also check side by side that now current directory is C, then users, then Sony, and when I will change directory I will enter into my directory. Now you have seen the directory path has changed. Now I am in C, then users, then Sony, and then Ritu. So it means now I am present in my directory, and you can check the path of the directory also by writing pwd, which is path of working directory, means it will give the path of the directory you are presently working. So right now I am here in this directory, so that is why it has shown the same path which is also being shown in this upper corner in the current directory. And also you can check the variables present in the directory. Suppose I am giving a command ls. Ls will list the files that are present in the directory. Right now I have generated my directory which has nothing, no files, that is why it is empty. And other thing is, you can write dir command. Dir command will also give the information of the contents of the files which are present in your directory. So if I suppose I am making a file by opening the editor window, I have written something, make some program, and then suppose I have saved this file, save file, then you can see that this file will automatically be saved in the Ritu directory which I have just made. So suppose I am writing the name of the file, file1, and save. You can see this file is a M file. I will later on discuss about the file types. So this is a file of .m extension. All the programs, all the files which you are making in the editor window in the MATLAB, they have .m extension and they are called M files. So if you save this file and now you will check the list of the files in your directory, I will write ls. You can see here that previously there were only dot and two dot, means nothing in the directory. Now file 1 is present in the directory. And you can also write dir command. So dir will also give the information about the files. Now previously there was nothing in the directory, so now after saving file 1 you can see that this file is present in my directory. So first thing you have to do is, when you are working in MATLAB, make or create your own directory first and then start working the next things. Now if I want to come out of my directory, I will give the command cd dot dot. So I have come out of my directory. Again I am back. You can check the path pwd. Again I am in C, then users, then Sony. So with this cd dot dot command you can move one step back. Okay, so if you want to come out of your directory, then write cd dot dot, you will reach in the previous directory. Last thing I want to discuss is the types of files in a MATLAB. So I have shown you that the file you will write in the editor window, that is an M file. You can save this file with .m extension. This is the, if you are a beginner in MATLAB, mostly you will work on these files. You will make simple files, simple programs, and save those programs as .m file. And second type of files are figure files. Figure files are the figures you create. Those figures, if you save, they will be saved with .fig extension and they are called figure files. Next type of files are mat files. Mat files are data files. So if you are doing simulations, in research generally we do simulations, and then you are creating a lot of data, for example number of xyz values, so that data is saved in mat files. So mat files have .mat extension. And other files in MATLAB are p files, which are the a kind of secret files. So if you want to give your program to someone but you want to hide the contents of the program, then you can give p files to the person. The person can run p file and get the output, but he cannot open and see the contents or program you have written. This p file has .p extension. So these are some kind of files which you deal with when you work in MATLAB.